I have three questions for you. Are you planning to go to Ireland to do your bachelor's degree? Had someone told you, maybe a consultant, maybe a friend, maybe a relative, that as a student in Ireland you can easily make 4 to 5,000 euros every single month? That you can pay your own college fee, cover your rent, your food, and still send money back home to your family? And are your parents right now selling land, breaking fixed deposit, borrowing money because they believe in this dream for you? If even one of those questions hit close to home, please watch this video till the end, because today I'll be going to show you the actual numbers, not what consultants say, not what WhatsApp groups say, what the real math actually looks like for a student in Ireland. And we are going to start with that 4 to 5,000 euros a month claim. Before I get into the numbers, one thing I want to be upfront about: everything I'm showing you today is based on the maximum possible figures. Best case rent, best case earnings, every legal hour worked, most optimistic scenario. I'm not trying to make Ireland sound worse than it is. I'm doing this intentionally because if even the best case scenario is not working out, then you absolutely need to know that before you make this decision. So let us start with the basics. How much can you actually work as an international student in Ireland? When your college is running, you are allowed to work a maximum of 20 hours per week, and during holidays that goes up to 40 hours per week. This is what your student visa allows. You cannot go beyond this. Now, a lot of people assume that because college finishes in mid-May, you have 4 months of full-time work ahead of you. But that is not how it works. The immigration permission to work 40 hours only kicks in from June 1st, not when your college finishes. So the gap between midway and June 1st, you are still on 20 hours legally. And in August, students who failed exams have to sit repeat exams, so your summer is not always as free as you imagined. The actual 40 hours window is June 1st to September 30th, roughly 13 weeks. And Christmas, December 15 to January 15, about another 3 to 5 weeks. Everything else 20 hours. Okay, now the money. Minimum wage in Ireland from January 2026 is 14 euros and 15 cents per hour. This is confirmed by law. So let us calculate the absolute maximum you could earn in one full year. During college, 34 weeks at 20 hours, that gives you 9,622 euros. Over Christmas, 3.5 weeks at 40 hours, 1,981 euros. Summer, 13 weeks at 40 hours, 7,358 euros. Add it all up. Maximum gross for the year is 18,961 euros. After tax, and students do not pay much tax in Ireland because of tax credit system, your net take home is approximately 18,200 euros per year. Divided across 12 months, that is 1,516 euros per month. Not 4,000, not 5,000. 1,516 euros per month at maximum. So the next time someone tells you that you can make 4 to 5,000 euros a month as a student in Ireland, you now know that number does not exist. Now let's talk about the job reality. But honestly, even that 1,500 euros is not the reality for most students, because that number assumes you have a job from the very first week you arrive. Let me tell you what actually happened to me. I got my first job in Ireland after 7 months. 7 months of sending CVs, walking into places, getting told no, waiting, trying again, and I am not an exception. From what I've seen and from the people I know here, most students take anywhere from 2 to 3 months minimum to get their first job, some even longer. Think about what that actually means. You arrive in September, you start applying right away, but realistically, your first paycheck might only come in November, December, maybe even January. That is 3 to 4 months where you are spending money but earning nothing, living purely on whatever you brought from home. And even once you have a job, it is not like you can just demand 40 hours in summer. Your employer builds the roster based on what the business needs. In summer, when you want more hours, every other student in the restaurant or shop also wants more hours. Sometimes the shifts are simply not there. Having the legal right to work 40 hours and actually getting 40 hours from your employers are two different things. So realistically, in the first year especially, most students end up earning somewhere between 10,000 and 14,000 euros, not 18,200. But as I said, I'm using maximum figures today. Even at 18,200, what comes next will show you why it is still not enough. And before I move on, I want to address something because I get this question every single week without fail. Sagar, what about cash in hand jobs? If I get paid cash, nobody can track my hours, right? I can work more than 20 hours and nobody will know. I completely understand why people ask this. The financial pressure is real and people are looking for a way out. But I need to be very honest with you here. This thinking can destroy your entire future in Ireland. Working more than 20 hours during college time is a violation of your student visa. This does not matter at all whether you are paid cash or by bank transfer. The moment you cross that limit, you are breaking immigration law. And if you are caught, your visa gets cancelled. You could be deported. And every single visa application you make anywhere in the world after that gets flagged. Your entire Ireland journey ends right there. And honestly, finding cash in hand jobs in Ireland is nearly impossible anyway. Employers here face fines and up to 50,000 euros for paying workers off the books. Every legitimate business has payroll system and get audited by the tax authority. No employer is going to risk their entire business when there are over 44,000 students legally available to hire. It just does not happen the way people imagine. So please do not take that risk. The shortcut is not worth losing everything your family has worked for. Alright, so now let us look at what it actually costs to live here. And these are my own personal numbers, I'm not guessing. Rent is the biggest one. I personally pay 500 euros a month for a shared room here in Dublin. It is possible, but you do need to scratch property and be flexible about which area you live in. Depending on the location, it can go up to 700 euros. For groceries, if you shop at Lidl or Aldi and cook your own food, 100 euro a month is genuinely doable. The student leap card gives you 50% off all public transport, so 50 euros covers most of you need for getting around. After everything, earning at maximum, spending at maximum, you are left with 9,560 euros for the year. And that money now has one job. It needs to cover your college fees. So here is where everything becomes very clear. These are the actual annual fee that students pay at Irish colleges. I have verified all of these from the official college websites. Now, something important to understand here. Irish and EU students pay roughly 2,500 to 3,000 euros per year because the government covers the rest. As an international student, you pay the full international fee, sometimes 5 to 10,000 more for the exact same classroom, the exact same degree. And when you put that against the 9,560 euros you have left after living cost, that is what happens. TUS and ATU 10,000 to 12,000 euros per year. You have 9,560, you are already short. MTU, formerly known as CIT Cork, 15,000 euro per year, short by 5,440 euros every year. DCU and Maynooth 16,500 to 18,000 per year, short by 7,000 to 8,000 euros every year. UCC 18,000 to 24,000 per year, UCD 19,900 to 25,000 per year, Trinity College Dublin 22,500 to 29,500 per year. At every single public college in Ireland, even working at maximum, living as cheaply as possible, what you earn is simply not enough to cover the fee. Now, to be completely fair, there are two private colleges that are cheaper than everything else. CCT College Dublin and IBAT College Dublin. CCT charges 8,600 euros per year if you apply directly from Nepal. If you are already living in Ireland with a valid IRP card, that dropped to just 4,500. IBAT is similar, 6,985 from Nepal, 4,990 if already in Ireland. At CCT from Nepal, your 9,560 minus the 8,600 fee leaves you with a small surplus of around 960 euros. It is only scenario in Ireland where the math just about works in your favor. But, and this is important, CCT only offers IT and business. IBAT only offers business. So if you want to study engineering, science, nursing, law, anything else, these colleges are simply not an option. Both are private colleges with no global ranking, which means the degree carries less weight internationally compared to a public university. Also, some students try to come on a language school visa first to get the cheaper in Ireland rate at CCT. But the Irish government specifically flagged this route as a backdoor in 2026, and visa refusal on this path have gone up. So be careful with that approach. One more thing that a lot of students overlook when planning, and it makes a bigger difference than you think, is which city you choose to study in. I pay 500 euro rent in Dublin and it is possible, but I will be honest, finding 500 in Dublin takes time and effort. In Limerick or Galway, you can find the same type of room for 400 to 500 euros much more easily and with less competition. Over 4 years, choosing Limerick over central Dublin could save you up to 14,000 euros on rent alone. This is a significant amount, and the US in Limerick is one of the cheapest public colleges in the country. So if reducing the financial gap is your priority, that combination gives you the best chance. Okay, let me bring everything together now. I want to show you three real situations so you can see exactly what the numbers look like depending on which path you choose. Let us start with the most ideal situation you can imagine. You choose the US in Limerick, the cheapest public college. You find a room for 500 euros. You work every single legal hour all year without missing a shift. Not a single sick day, not a single slow week. You earn 18,200. You spend on living 8,640. The US fee is 10,000. What is left? Even in this absolute best case, you are still 440 euros short at the end of the year. And remember, this is maximum figures with zero room for anything unexpected. In reality, that gap will be larger. Now let us look at the most Nepali students actually experience. MTU in Cork, formerly known as CIT, is one of the most popular choices. A room in Cork for around 600, you earn 18,200, you spend on living 9,840, MTU fee 15,000, what is left? Minus 6,640 euros every single year. That is the gap your family need to fill. On top of everything you are already earning and everything you are already sacrificing. And if you are aiming for one of the traditional universities like UCD in Dublin, you earn 18,200, you spend on living 11,040, UCD fee 25,000, what is left? Minus 17,840 euros. Your family is not just sending you money for the flight and the first month. To complete a degree in Ireland, you need to be prepared to bridge this gap for 3 to 4 years. This is the honest reality. For the US and ATU, the family needs to cover roughly 1,700 to 9,700 euros over 4 years. That is around 2.5 lakh to 14 lakh Nepali rupees. For MTU, around 26,500 euros over 4 years, that is roughly 37 lakh Nepali rupees. For DCU and Maynooth, around 33,700 euros, roughly 47 lakh rupees. For UCC and UCD, 50,000 to 71,000 euros, that is 70 lakh to 1 crore Nepali rupees. And for Trinity, 52,000 to 80,000 euros, that is 73 lakh to 1 crore 10 lakh rupees. Family support here is not a backup option. For most students, it is only reason they are able to finish their degree. I want to end with something a little more personal. I have been living in Ireland for a few years now. I have done the part time jobs. I have had months where I counted every euro carefully. I know what this life actually feels like from the inside, not from a brochure, not from a consultant's presentation. And I want to say something that I genuinely feel is not talked about enough. The students who come here for a bachelor's degree, most of them are 18, 19, 20 years old. For many of them, this is the first time they are leaving home. They are arriving in a completely new country with a different culture, different weather, no family around, no familiar faces, and they are expected to manage all of that while also studying full time, working part time, managing their own finances, and dealing with the stress of making it all work. That is genuinely a lot to carry, and a lot of students underestimate the mental and emotional weight of it, especially in those first 6 months when everything feels unfamiliar. The pressure is building from every direction. I have personally seen students arrive here with so much confidence, so much hope, so much of their family's money behind them, and leave 6 months later without completing their degree. Not because they were not capable, but because nobody had sat them down and shown them the real numbers before they came. Because the money ran out, the pressure became too much, and they had no foundation to stand on. If you are a parent watching this, what you are sending your child into is not just a college experience. It is real adult life challenge at a very young age. The financial gap I have showed you is real, but preparing them mentally, supporting them emotionally, and making sure they arrive with honest expectations, that matters just as much as the money. And if you are a student, please do not let this video discourage you. Ireland is a genuine option. The degree is real. The opportunities after graduation are real. The life you can build here is real. But go prepared. Go with your eyes open. Go knowing that the part time work is something that helps you, not something that saves you. If this video helped you see the full picture, share it with someone who needs to see before they make the decision. A friend, a sibling, your family, WhatsApp group. These numbers can genuinely save someone from a very difficult situation. Subscribe if you want more honest content about life in Ireland. Drop a comment below which college you are considering or which city. I read every single comment and I do reply. Take care. See you in the next one.